Um, then they went to Israel, and then they got like a bunch of teenagers, and then among those teenagers were Daniel, Ananias, Misael, and Azariah. I don't pronounce that. And yeah, they got those people, and then they went to Babylon, and then they had to train for like 3 years so they can be like worthy to work for him or whatever. And then during those 3 years, they would have to eat and drink the same things that the king would have to eat and drink, which was like meat and wine. And then, but Daniel and his 3 friends, they didn't want to eat those things and drink them. Bro, stop laughing. And then, yeah, so then they asked the guard or whatever that was taking care of them so that they can only be fed vegetables and water.
Wait, why didn't they want to drink?
Because they didn't want to defile themselves.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
Alright, and then
Okay.
they didn't want to defile themselves with the sin of the palace. So they asked the guard if they can only eat and drink water for like the time that they're there. But the dude was like, no, because what if like the king sees that they like got skinnier than the other kids that were drinking wine and eating meat? What if they got like skinny or whatever? And then they were like, no. And then they asked if they can only do it for 10 days, and then after those 10 days, that if they were skinny, they would stop and eat the king's food. And then after those 10 days, they were stronger than the other kids that were eating the meat and drinking the wine. And then after that, the king was having dreams about his spirits being troubled. And then they asked like the king asked to bring like sorcerers, magicians, astrologers, and the Chaldeans, which was like the people of Babylon or it's weird, to interpret his dreams for him. And then and then the king was like, then they called the people to interpret the dreams. But then whenever they asked what the dream was, like he didn't know what the dream was because like he forgot about the dream. Like he just knew that it was a good dream. And then they asked like what it was about, and then he didn't know. And then like without him knowing, like how could they like know what his dream was? And then they said, like the sorcerers said that it was like impossible to know what your dream was because like no one in the world can know your dream without you knowing what the dream was. And then the king like said that there were a bunch of liars because they were like sorcerers or whatever. Like they couldn't know what the dream was. And then he sent out an order to destroy all of the wise men of Babylon. And then whenever he sent those people out to destroy them, Daniel and his companions were one of like the people that they sent out. And then Daniel asked what like why was he doing this, because he didn't know like what the king like wanted. And then he said that he could do it, like, but he just needed time. And then so that night he asked God to help him interpret his like the king's dream. And then like he interpreted his dream, and then I'm not sure what the dream was because I didn't have that much time to study, you know what I'm saying? So
like 5 weeks.
Calm down. Calm down. And then, like, he interpreted his dream, and then he said that whenever he finished, the king was like very pleased, and the king like praised God and said that your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings. And then, like after that, the king he made Daniel he gave him like a lot of gifts, and he made him a ruler of Babylon and governor of all the wise men in Babylon. And then another story of the almighty Daniel was that like after like all that happened, another like king was ruling Babylon, and his name was King Darius. And then Daniel was King Darius liked Daniel a lot, and like all the other presidents that were like under King Darius was like jealous of Daniel because like he liked him the most. And then like since they were jealous, they wanted to have King Darius like not like him as much. So they tried to like frame him, and then but like he never really did anything bad because he was like a good person. And then like every day, 3 times a day, he would like go to his room and like open his window and like pray towards Jerusalem and like thank God for everything, I guess. And then so the other presidents, like they told King Darius, because since they were jealous of Daniel, that King Darius should only for 30 days, like people can only pray, like they can't praise their gods, and only Darius can like praise his God or whatever. And then during those 30 days, Daniel he was praying by his window, and then they saw him praying, and then they like basically snitched on him. Like they told King Darius that Daniel was like breaking the law, because that was like a law, because he said like King Darius said that he couldn't do that, so he was pretty much breaking the law. And then King Darius sent out people to get him and throw him into the lion's den. You know what I'm saying? So he went to the lion's den, and then like King Darius that night, King Darius was like very like, what should I say? He was worried about Daniel, because since he liked him a lot, he didn't want to kill him because of lions and stuff. So, and then like that night he was worried, and then that morning he like didn't sleep at all, and then that he woke up early. Like he went up early to check at the lion's den, and then he like cried out to Daniel, and then Daniel like responded to him and said that the lions didn't do anything to him, and then because there was an angel there, and then like after that he got out of the lion's den.
Amen.
And then lived happily ever after until his death.
Amen.
Amen. That's all I got. Done.
This is my nigga.